Okay, this is what I have. I never looked at that. Okay, here's what I did. Last night I pulled those out, replaced them all. A lot of them tested pretty bad. This one, not too bad. Waxies were the worst. This is the boost capacitor. Okay, that's the one that apparently dunked my boost voltage, or it could have been the verticals pulling it down. But anyways, this resistor here hooks up to a T, and then boogies this way, goes up here to the center tap of the deflection, horizontal deflection. So out of focus here. Okay, hold on. Back on. So I found a resistor. Of course, I lost it. So I look at this. This is a T going to a vacant unmarked spot. Blue to the deflection coils. So not focusing. There. So that's supposed to look like that. Apparently. So I'm gonna remove it and put this in. And gotta remember they're sticky on the ends. They were in a tape thing. Then after that, my vertical issues, I'll have to go through and read all the resistors. I can't believe it's this capacitor or that capacitor, because they're rated at 400 volts, and the schematic parts list call for 600. This one is 600. That's old. I do have an old Fender silver face capacitor way up there. Can't remember. You can tell the Fender stuff by the greenish blue color. That tested good. I don't remember what that does, and I do have some cheap low-line Chinese capacitors in here. So I think I have to check all these resistors and pull them, mark them, whatever. But right now I'm just going to do this and see what that does. I'll measure it. Okay. Just a quick checky. I had it in once, but it's supposed to be 2.2K. So there we go. Okay, back on here. Let me see, where's this hooked up to? My black. I can't see through this viewfinder. Okay, this is on a 20K scale. Apparently she's open. A no-go. I'll wiggle it around a bit. Okay, back on. I touch these together and I get, she zeroes up, and I go back to this and I get a no-go. I don't know what that means. Overload. Back in my day we said no-go. Open. 2, what'd that say? It didn't say 2.2, but good to go. So how many more of these profiles can be in this TV? That must have had a load. It looks a little It's fat in places. I don't see any cracks, but I suppose this one will run and heat up and burn up too. So back to this thing. I'll have to go through all the resistors and measure them in the vertical. I'm going to turn this thing back on for a moment to make my notes, and that's it. Okay, turn this thing back on. I can't lose this. This is going to cause me trouble here. Put it over there. Okay, here we go. So, hot away from neutral. Box is on. Here comes our, this is going to be the boost voltage, so right now it's a little over normal B+. Oh, my solder. What's going on there? That's vertical, I think. It's wandering. Huh.
There's no harm. Go on, Bester. Let yourself go. Take her in your arms, kiss her. Might not be so bad if you keep your eyes closed.
Mr. Adams. She's quite right.
You can hear the vertical hum, vibration. So we got 378 of the boost. 50 volt scale. We got a little under a 30 volts. Vertical, we cannot lock up. Let me see. Here's the vertical knob right here. We'll try to stabilize it. I'd sure like to see that on a picture tube. It does not stay stable. So I suppose it's rolling. That might be rolling up. That way rolling down. Rolling left, the vertical would roll up, and if it's going to the right, it rolls down. I don't know. I'm guessing. Wait a minute. I was synchronizing from channel 1. My mistake. But we gotta... Let me get rid of this other line here. It's still irritable. It's got something... Let me see. I'm syncing from internally. I'm on channel 2, syncing from 2. I'm on channel 2. My other thing is on alter. That's usually where it works. So she's getting irritable. Maybe a resistor's gaining value. That's usually the game, I think. Oscillator is 1/2 of this, that tube there. Oh, this is horizontal. Let me see where it's going. Oh, it's not hooked up, maybe. It looked like it was hooked up. Okay. Now it's hooked up. It's hooked up. 23 kilohertz. Let's stabilize the vertical one more time. Oops. Screwed that up. This is my vertical hold. Oh, what the hell? I screwed my box up. Resting my arm on it. Okay, do the vertical hold again. This is all one way. I think you should try to have your capacitors and stuff so you're locked in the center. Okay, let's change this. I don't like that look. I can change it somewhat if I take it out of calibrate mode. Yeah. Here's horizontal. Boost voltage. Horizontal control grid. It's supposed to, here, 50 volt scale, it's 26. Okay, let's go to horizontal. Whoops, that way. Whoops. Where is it? There's horizontal. Don't see it. Oh, I'm hooked up to the. Oh, I'm hooked up to. Supposedly, I was hooked up to. Forgot. Back on. No, what happened? Touch my box. This piece of crap. That's video. That's the cathode of the picture tube. I'll touch my button here and shut the box off. Let me see. Just my little knob there. There's a no signal. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, obviously. Which one am I? Red. Let's try this knob up here. It's called picture. So I think it's must be contrast. Counterclockwise. Full clockwise. Pull back. Let's go full blast. Pull back a bit so we don't overload it. Let's try the fine tuning. And that perfect picture. I think I see somebody. The perfect picture is when your tuning goes to hell or your song goes to hell. That's your perfect picture. If you pull back a little, then you get better sound and your picture blurs. That's how my TVs usually operate. Horizontal.
Who's everybody?
Okay, we'll try to get horizontal here.
The guys that dig tunnels with little teaspoons, right?
If we do this number, you get to wear the slinkiest dress.
This is November 1st, 2021. 26 -26 volts. It drifts. Yeah, it does more than drift. So that's horizontal. Oops. Whoops. Yeah, my knobs are sham. I don't mean to. Yeah, shoot. No, she don't want to play the game. I want to do this frequency. There. I'm making an antenna for 2 meters. I was going to use this shielding cable for it, that's why that's there, but I got a better piece. You leave this like this so you can move it up and down to change the frequency. I don't know what this big goob is about. Well, I had probably something hooked to it. 2 meters. Okay, where am I? I feel the heat from it, boy. Pretty stable, I think. I see it irritable a little bit on the right, but that could be normal. Go back to vertical. Where am I syncing from? Okay, I sync from channel 2 and go to channel 2 and go this way. Put a little more brightness on it. There's a dip down here. Let me see. Let me try the vertical hold. I'm not going to screw with linearity or nothing like that. Need the picture for that. So it feels to me like it's jumping up and down in amplitude and plus frequency change. You can see frequency change in here if that's what it is. Plus, maybe that's why that looks like it's going up and down. Maybe it's frequency change. I don't know. But I'm gonna shut off and check the temperature of that 2.2K. I can't say it improved my picture any because I don't have a picture tube hooked up. Let's check. She's cold. That's good. So why is this one like this? Crazy. Reads open anyways. So that's about it, I guess, with this thing. I'll put the cover back on to keep any RF interference out. And then I'll just set it down on my box where I'm comfortable for my neck, and I'll just start measuring resistors, lifting them. If they measure lesser than they should, then I'll pop it out one side and measure it. Then the ones I don't like, I will just draw red or green across it, whatever works the best, or black. That's usually how I do it, and then I pull them later. So I got to have something really gaining value around the vertical, and maybe the tuner or the IFs. Where are the IFs? The cable comes in right here from the tuner. So the first IF I think is this one. Then the second, and yeah, so I never check these coils if they get warm. I feel they're lukewarm, barely. Vertical's cold. I'll hook this up. I have a tester for this. Yeah, so back on here. Someday. This thing gets hotter than heck. And this one, doable. So I'll do some more cleaning with the lighter fluid and Q-tips. I did clean the top and bottom of this with lighter fluid. I don't see any arcing. I know on newer TVs of the 1960s, I noticed they cut circuit board area out, and I think that's to stop them carbon trails so they don't arc and get that welding effect going, arc welding effect going, because that really sucks. And now with Dremel tools, you could probably cut that circuit board actually out. But this circuit board is pretty heated up, dried out. Same thing where the 12C5 is it, audio output is a lot of hot burn down there, or it's wax. All that wax, gooiness oil, I thought it was. I think that was that beeswax from the capacitors, because I cleaned it up pretty damn good, I think. Then, but you can see there's crap around the resistor. So just lighter fluid and Q-tips work really well. Because one of my guitar books recommended that for frets and stuff. And whatever. That resistor here, I heated that up pretty good when I had this off. That's ugly. That's a 1K. I don't know if I have a 1K at 1 watts. I got 2.2K. I got different values, 15Ks, 1.5 probably at 1 watt. But I think that'll just be like a width control. And then that orange drop back there is bypasses to ground for a grid number 2. So I think that would be like a width control if you change it. I think that's the best I can do. I think I might get it back in the case and see what it does. So see what happens with it. I'm curious why they had this floated so far back on the picture tube. And I looked at it. Let me pull this off. Let me pull this off. And I looked at it. I don't see anything bad. But what I did notice, it doesn't have those magnets. This don't even have the, maybe that's because this has that, what's it called, iron trap? I'm not familiar with those. Now this one here off of my, I love that, off of my RCA TV, horizontals are shorted. Gotta watch watch it so I don't be busting things. Centering coils are good. I wish, what I want to do is take a little rubber hammer to that and see if I can smack those and break them apart. Then spray them with some, what do you spray them with, hairspray? I don't know. Hairspray burns. I have this meter here. It seems to be pretty good for checking those kind of coils. And you can check chokes with these, just as long as there are enough ohms. If the ohms are too low, then it will short, shorted. I think it's got to oscillate at a certain frequency or be able to oscillate a certain way. So this is adjust. I haven't used it in a long time. Set to red line. So I have a couple of different ones. So you adjust your AC up to here, I guess, when you turn it on. And then you put your alligator clips. I just use alligator clips. It works pretty good. You do short. Where's the short one? So it says yoke. What does it say? Okay. So you go by this for yoke, I guess. Fly back, I guess. That works good. I don't have any instructions, so I just use common sense here. But I'm not going to disconnect that deflection coils unless there's real problems. They're soldered in. So that's it, I guess. My notes. I think I mentioned these from the get-go. That's the boost. For my shakiness, I might get into this tube. This side is vertical oscillator. This is horizontal. No, I won't be into this. This is horizontal AFC, I think. I'll be into something else. But first I have to get the picture tube hooked up. So I think replacing this last night gave me my boost voltage. This was on automatic gain control. I think this was on automatic gain. No, there were 2.22s, I thought, on the automatic gain control. I thought line. I don't know. I can't remember. This one tested the best. Some of these are vertical. One of the 0.22s was the one that fed the video signal to the cathode of the picture tube. Might have been that one. The 0.22, maybe it was that one. I don't know. I can't remember. What is it anyways? This is signing off. That number might be false. I think that's a wrong number. This is the right number.